Good morning, Desert Sands Unified School District. My name is Sean Webb. I'm your Director of Community Engagement in the Educational Foundation, and you're watching Classroom Conversations. We are in episode 12 of season 2. If I'm doing my math right, we're right around 125 episodes since we started in June of 2020. But I would like to go ahead and say a couple thank yous to the Desert Sands Educational Foundation Board for making this and allowing this to happen. I'd like to read their mission statement. The Desert Sands Educational Foundation secures funding and awards money to provide supplemental resources that enrich and enhance student learning in Desert Sands Unified School District. And their vision statement. In partnership with public and private sectors, Desert Sands Educational Foundation financially supports creative and innovative programs that enrich and enhance the educational experience in the academics, the arts, and extracurricular activities that engage all students and staff in Desert Sands Unified School District. And before we move on, I got to thank Craig Campbell with CoachellaValley.com. You can see his logo up in the corner there. Thank you for allowing us to have this land on your page. It's fantastic to be able to do this and share the great information that's coming out from Desert Sands, as well as I want to thank our sponsor for the year, the City of Indio. Thank you, Indio, for sponsoring us, and we love having the community grant and using those funds to be able to provide StreamYard for the community and share everything great that's going on about the school district as well as our partners. And speaking of partners, we do have a partner on with us today, Sunline Transit, but we're going to get to them in a second. Got a couple other things I want to highlight and go over first. Coming up in about, so we got 2 months here, but I want to lead off here. We got Indio Streets Are Treats. This is an event. I've actually been a part of this community committee. Brooke Baird, Jim Curtis, a couple others from the city of Indio. We're all part of this together. We're on this committee where Saturday, October 30th, on Miles and Smyr near Indio Food Park, we're going to be highlighting some great things going on in the streets of Indio. And you'll get more details as that comes up, most definitely. But let me go ahead and bring myself back up on screen here. There we go. A couple things and highlights and so forth that we have to share. I also want to share that Desert Sands is going to have our first Celebrate Wellness. This is going to take place at Indio High School on September 18th from 9 to 1. Topics are talking about physical well-being, supporting emotional health, wellness workshops. If you tuned in with us, what was it? A couple weeks ago when we had Sue Ann on, she talked about this event as well. We're going to have a vaccination clinic. They'll be offering the Tdap as well as the COVID vaccination. So if you're interested, please call 760-771-8682. That is an event on September 18th that'll take place for the community on September 18th. Very important event. We hope to see you there. And let's see here. I'm going to bring up our social media and go over that before we move on. Bring this on screen here. And here we got our Desert Sands social media. As we always do, we highlight what's going on in the district and what's going on, what we're retweeting. But we're talking about the Indio Teen Center here. We resent this information. This is their schedule of things going on, all 8th and 12th grade students, about the events they have going on, as well as looks like some food items that they're offering there. So pretty cool. But that you can follow us at Desert Sands USD. As well as, let's get back to our feed here. We highlighted the most recent classroom conversations. This was a really special episode. If you can, I highly recommend you watching it. This was a great episode where I got to reconnect with a student that I used to see over at Palm Desert High School all the time. All of his classmates were always in my classroom. He didn't particularly play a sport that I coached or was in my class, but I had one of those classrooms where kids would come out during lunch, and we interviewed Scotty Bertram. That was a real good time to reconnect with somebody who graduated from Palm Desert in 2011. I was a teacher there for his freshman and sophomore year, but it was just great to connect with him. You know, him being an Olympian, representing the Palm Desert High School, representing the Coachella Valley and the city of La Quinta where he lives. I just thought it was awesome, and he took a break from the Colorado Rockies to do so. Let's see here. We've been talking about the different community service programs that we have in the program. As you can see, they were talking about Cadet Corps here with the UCAN report. Thank you very much, Cindy, for highlighting that. And let's see here. That's about all that I have from me. But what I'd like to do is, as we do with all of our community partners, especially I'll flat out say one of our largest community partners, one of the biggest contributors to the Coachella Valley, is we have a presentation. We've got some information today from Sunline Transit. And with us today is Nicholas Robles. Good morning, Nicholas. How you doing?
Good morning, Sean. How are you today?
I am excellent. I'm excellent. So we're here to talk about something pretty exciting with the high school hall pass program. Maybe before we talk about that, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm Nicholas Robles. I'm the Chief of Public Affairs at Sunline Transit Agency. I oversee marketing, communications, and do some of the legislative affairs for Sunline. Like you mentioned, Sunline is a big community partner. We span the 9 different cities here in the Coachella Valley, as well as the unincorporated area. So we do have a strong presence here in the valley.
Yeah, I would say so. No, it's great. I wear a couple different hats in the community, and one of the things that I always see is wearing my hat with Leadership Coachella Valley. I love that Sunline always makes sure to have a student or two come through the program and so forth. And geez, you guys just had Brittany go through the program, so that was fantastic.
Yes, she recently in the, what is it, dubbed the longest Leadership Coachella Valley class?
Yeah, so it's funny, each Leadership Coachella Valley class always says it's the best class. Well, you know what? Nobody could say they've done the longest class where it takes, 22 months to finish the program.
Well, when in the middle of a pandemic, that's an impressive feat.
Exactly. But you've got some great information to share with us today. Let me go ahead and I'll bring that up on the screen here. The high school hall pass program. I'll be honest, I actually heard about this program for the first time, I want to say in August of 2020. You guys are maybe talking about this initially, about our ID badges. And I remember putting you guys in connection with even Jostens, who does a lot of our ID badges, as well as the other companies.
The high school hall pass. So let me take it back a little bit. The hall pass program launched in 2018, and it was started at College of the Desert, expanded to Cal State San Bernardino Palm Desert campus. And then this year, with some additional grant funding, we were able to expand that program to high school students. So it was great to have some additional grant funding. And this is the first year that it's been open to 9th to 12th graders.
Okay. So I'm driving the slides here. Just do me a favor. Tell me what I need to do.
Sure.
But I've got us here on the second slide. I will say that I do recognize those are a couple of students from Desert Sands you have in the pictures there.
They are, and they were our models for our photo shoot, so we can help publicize this program. Fun fact, we actually had to do this photo shoot twice, one with mask, one without mask, just so we could, we were not sure what some of the PSA guidance was going to be, so we just wanted to make sure we did it both ways, and glad we did it both ways.
Of course.
So the Hall Pass program is essentially fare-free rides for youth, so they can use it to go visit their friends at different cities. They can use it to get to part-time jobs if they may have jobs. And of course, if they want to get to school, definitely use it to get to school. And really, it's to offer young adults some reliable options and really get them ready for that next stage of life where they don't want to depend on parents to get them to and from different destinations, so they can have some sort of independence as they travel around the Coachella Valley.
Okay.
And then if you want to jump to the next slide.
Yep.
So like I had said, it launched in 2018, and then we were able to get some grant funding and open it up to the high schools this year, so the 2021 to 2022 school year.
Okay.
And then if you jump to the next slide, this is a pilot program, so it's going to be open for sure. It opened at the beginning of this month, August 1st, and then it will go through July 31st of 2022. And then depending on some of the grant funding and some of the partnerships we're able to make over the next year, that will determine some of the longevity of this program.
Okay. No, I'll say that this is an amazing program. I think this is fantastic because I used to be over at La Quinta High in charge of career technical education. And one of our issues, not one of our issues, but one of our obstacles that we had to achieve and go over each and every year is transportation to the different facilities that they're going to. So this definitely helps address that. So thank you very much for overseeing this process. That's amazing.
Definitely get to those CTE classes. And then I know I've talked to other people at Desert Sands if they want to get to some of like therapy appointments as well. That also helps because mental health is a big thing for students in high school and college. And so being able to get to those types of appointments as well, great program for that.
Definitely.
So one of the things is it works a little bit differently than the college program. And you had mentioned it earlier, talking about the Jostens ID. So with the high school hall pass program, it works with your cell phone. So we have a partnership with an app called Token Transit.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
and the student would use their cell phone as their quote unquote hall pass. And I always get the question, if they don't have a smartphone, they can definitely still apply for a program. They can still utilize the program, and we will provide them a paper pass. So they still have equitable access to the program. The concept with the phone is just, we know a lot of students already have that in their hand. They always have their ID in their hand. So we're just trying to make it one less thing that they could lose. So with the phone app, it's just quick and it's easy for them. It's very convenient. But the paper pass works essentially the same way. We would just have to mail that to them. So there's a little delay if they opt for a paper pass option, just in terms of distributing it from Sunline to the student's home.
Okay, so I'll tell you, I think this is amazing that you have it right on their phones and so forth. So the last time that I was at a school site, I was at Palm Desert High, and they were implementing a program where they every day have to use their cell phones with an app. So there's no reason why all the students over at Palm Desert couldn't take advantage of these types of programs. And I know that the different high schools have apps and so forth in Coachella Valley. So that I think it's amazing. You guys are just, why have them carry something else when they already have this, right?
Right. And one of my children, when they were in school, they were piloting these apps where instead of raising your hand and asking a question, you can text the answer, or you can participate via text, which to me, I mean, is this foreign concept. But it sounded great, and it boosts student participation because maybe some kids are too shy to actually answer the question. They might know it. So I know when I saw it with my kids, it was very eye-opening and intriguing how technology was being used.
So speaking of technology, I'm going to date myself as a teacher. So back in like 2004 to 2007, I was a teacher over in Palm Desert. And we had technology like that where you use a device to log it in. But it literally was like this, a calculator-sized device that you would have to use. And we'd have to distribute them to every student to make sure that, Johnny Smith always got number 17 every single class, so it synced up. But know that having the use of technology, you guys utilizing that's just amazing. So I think that's just, you're making it easy and easeability for the kids to be able to use the system.
And that's really the goal, so they can have ease of access to use to get to where they need to go.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we do have some other information here. Let me bring up the slides here again.
And I know Hall Pass is about the free program to get free rides. We do have another program called Sunride.
Okay.
And it's available at Palm Desert in the city of Palm Desert. So it's a geofence zone. It's available in 4 different areas, but for Desert Sands purposes, it's available at the Palm Desert High School. So if you may have football practice, or you might have an early morning swim practice, might be a good program if your parents aren't able to take you to school, or maybe you need to get to school earlier than the bus routes or later than the bus routes. There is another alternative to getting to and from school. And that is Sunride.
Okay, so as we do in this classroom conversations, we have live comments, and I'm going to bring it up here on screen now, and I'll share it with you. Maybe you can address this. It says, I tried to sign up my son 2 weeks ago, but I never got anything back. I called and they said the system was down. Is it working now? And would you recommend them signing up again?
So Marisol, yes, we did have some hiccups with the sign up. We were actually inundated with so many signups.
Oh, wow.
It froze our system. So we had about a 2-day downtime. We were able to fix it. So if you go back there, you should be able to do it. The one thing I will tell people is you will need a photo of the student ID when you apply. Because I know some people will do the application but not submit the student ID, and that is something that can give you a lag time. So just make sure you submit that student ID when you submit the application, and then it takes us about 5 days to process. So if you do it today, you should have your approval by next Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, because Monday's a holiday.
Okay, that's pretty fast process. That's awesome. You guys are
we have a dedicated team to try to process these applications.
Okay.
We did a big push before the school year started, so they had that access on the first day. But then, of course, as more and more students talk, it grew in popularity right around mid-August, as another school district had already gone back, and as Desert Sands was preparing to return to in-person learning. So yes, there was a little bit of downtime, but we did address that, and I would encourage you to apply for the program.
Okay. Now, like I said, I always bring up questions as they come up. So I want to go back to the Sunride zone here. So this is very similar to like any ride share type app. if you're at the school. Is that
Correct.
how it could be explained?
So the easiest way to explain it is if you're familiar with Uber or Lyft.
I don't want to use the names, but you did. Okay.
Okay. It's an on-demand service, like those rideshare ones. And so if you're within the zone for this example here, we've got Palm Desert. So let's just say you live in one of those areas right around the high school.
Okay.
You can download this app, which is called the Transloc app. It'll pick you up at your house, and then it can drop you off at the bus stop right in front of Palm Desert High School,
Okay.
or vice versa. Maybe you pick it up right in front of the bus stop at Palm Desert High School, and then take it to your home if you're within that geofence area.
Now, just say I live in that area and I want to go to lunch with some friends or something, and I may not be a student. Would this be accessible for anybody that lives in the area? Maybe a mom of one of our students that wants to utilize
most definitely. So this one is open to everybody, whether you're a student, an adult, or a senior. It's available Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. There is a cost, however, and your hall pass does not get you a free ride on this one. That's $3 because it also includes a transfer to our fixed route system.
Okay. You can't go anywhere with any of the rideshare apps within that zone for $3. This is a great value.
Exactly. And I mean, for your CTE students as well, maybe they may have something at Westfield Mall and they had a long day and they just want to be able to quickly get home instead of traveling through the bus network. This is definitely something that they could use maybe once a week, or depending on where they need to get to.
Okay. And I love the 7-minute wait. That's pretty amazing, as well as scheduling it. I love that.
So you can schedule it ahead of time. Let's just say tomorrow, you got to be at that Kaiser right off of Cook Street. You can definitely schedule it, or you could just be like me and probably most people. You just order it right when you need it because you forgot that you have that appointment.
Well, I think that's amazing. And also thank you for giving a shout out to one of our sponsors with Kaiser Grill. Eric Marcus and his family have always been very supportive of the foundation. But no, this is an outstanding opportunity. This is, I love this. And you know what, I'll have to download the app myself so I can start utilizing that when I'm in those areas. I'll be honest, I don't live in the city of Palm Desert, but when in those areas, I'll have to give it a try so I can be able to talk about it.
There you go.
There we go. Excellent. All right. And you've got some information here as well?
Yes. The TSA has extended face coverings on public transportation. So that means any Sunline buses, that means at a Sunline bus stop. If you utilize that Sunride program, if you're in a taxi, face masks are required through January 18th, 2022. And of course, this is subject to change if the TSA changes their guidelines to extend it past that January 18th deadline, or if they change it on the opposite end. So it's something that I would tell anybody using the bus system, especially if they're a high school student, utilizing the Hall Pass program, keep an eye on that face covering requirement. If they don't have a face covering, our operators do have a small quantity of face coverings available to provide, just so everybody has access to the transit system.
And as just so you know, in the school system right now, anywhere indoors, our students are asked to wear masks and so forth. So it's not anything different. So I'm sure that they will abide by that rule and so forth. But I believe we've come up to the last slide here. Is there anything else that you have for us? Thank you again for coming and joining us.
Well, I want to say thank you for having me so we can talk about the High School Hall Pass program. I'm very optimistic. I've seen a large number of high school students sign up for the program. I mean, so much so that he even took down our system for 2 days. So, I mean, if that's any inclination, that tells you how popular this is for those high school students. If they've got any questions, I know some people don't like to call. We do have a new feature on our website that you can live chat with one of our customer service reps.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So if you're maybe at a bus stop or you're at home and you don't want to actually talk to anybody, and you just want to type it out, that is available on our website Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or if you want to call Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and as well as emailing. So if anybody wants to call, email, or even send us a Facebook message, we are responsive to any means of communication.
Okay, excellent. Well, Nick, thank you very much for joining us. This is great information for the students of Desert Sands. Heck, this is great information for the students of the Coachella Valley. And I want to applaud you guys for making this one of your guys' things that you want to make sure that happens each and every year. So thank you for offering us the transportation.
Perfect. Thank you for having me, Sean, and look forward to seeing more Desert Sand students out on the buses.
You got it. And as you guys have changes, feel free to reach out. You're more than welcome to join us at any time.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So there you have it. We got to thank Nick Robles with Sunline Transit, sharing about the great programs that they have over there, allowing our students to use their transportation for free. And you got to love that other program that they have where it's almost like I say rideshare. I didn't want to use any names, but it's great that they have a rideshare program within the city limits of Palm Desert where it's only $3. That's almost a no-brainer to utilize those programs and so forth. But before we move on, I want to make sure that everybody's well aware that we have on the 18th, once again, we have the Desert Sands is inviting youth and families to the community first ever wellness fair that's going to be taking place on Saturday, September 18th. This is over at the gymnasium at Indio High School. This is on Avenue 46 over in Indio off of Clinton. We're going to have everything from physical well-being, supporting emotional health, and more, wellness workshops, community resources. This is also a vaccination clinic. You heard us a couple of weeks ago when I had Mr. Bailey on with us talking about the opening of school and so forth, and we had Sue Ann on with Butters. I'm sure Butters will be there too. So if you want to just come up and see Butters and say hello, you can do that as well. But vaccination clinic going on September 18th, wellness clinic going on where we're going to talk about physical well-being, supporting emotional health, and you name it. So make sure join us on the 18th. Let's see here. What else do we have? I did highlight little technical difficulties here, guys. Sorry about that. And we went over Twitter. And lastly, I want to bring up, we do have a school board meeting. So, I should take that off the screen. Sorry about that. But we do have a school board meeting tonight. I will be streaming the English as well as the American Sign Language on this platform. And I know our team of Sean and Roke will stream the English version that'll be coming through the other Desert Sand station. With that being said, I know that there's going to have a special announcement. I'm going to let it out a little bit that our very own Desert Sand Educational Foundation board, our new executive board, is going to be announced and introduced. So that'll be fun tonight. So I'll be at that meeting tonight, and we'll also be streaming. But you can catch us later. We're actually going to be back on Classroom Conversations on Tuesday of next week. A week from today, where you can catch us, and we're going to announce all the winners from summer for Recognize It. Pretty exciting. We got our winners from June, July, and August that we're going to recognize, and I'll be delivering some CV Harvest boxes to them next Friday. So we'll catch you next Tuesday. Make sure to be safe out there, wash your hands, and wear your mask. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.